שלום עליכם מלאכי השרת, מלאכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שלום עליכם מלאכי השרת, מלאכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. היה בואכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון ממלך מלאכי המלכים, אוי הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. יצאתכם לשלום מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון ממלך מלאכי המלכים, אוי הקדוש ברוך הוא.
We're going to read in the Hebrew responsively on page 34, Psalm 29. Havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, Havu l'Adonai kavod va'oz, Havu l'Adonai kavod shemo, Kol Adonai hatayim hamayim, El kavod, hirim Adonai al mayim rabim. Kol Adonai ba'bochash, Kol Adonai be'echad, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vayaber Adonai et arzei havonon, Vayarkidam kamo ervel. Kol Adonai chotzev lahavot esh. Kol Adonai yachiv medaber. Kol Adonai yacholel ayelot, vayechesof ya'arot. Adonai lamabul yashav, vayeshev Adonai melech le'olam. Adonai oz le'amo yiten Adonai yivarech et amo shalom. And now, let's welcome the aspect of God who dwells among us. It is said on Kabbalat Shabbat that we all receive an extra soul. The rabbis talked about this, the rabbis who actually went out into the desert and had epiphanies, I should say. And that extra soul is said to be the presence of God who dwells among us, and not just the God of high. So please rise. L'chado di is on page 38, and we'll do the first two stanzas on 38. And 2 on 40.
First on the top on 40 and the last stanza down. Lecha dodi likrat kala, v'nei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, v'nei Shabbat nekavela. Shamor v'tzachor v'divurecha ishmiyanu el yameucha Adonayecha u'shmoecha l'shemu l'tiferet v'letila. Lecha דודי לקרא קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מכל ברחמאוש מכדי נסוכה. סוף מעשה במשב התהילה. לך דודי לקרא קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באור קומי אורי, אורי, אורי. שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלי הנעלה. לך דודי לקרא קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
We welcome the Sabbath bride.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובסולה. טוב ומונה עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
East. Where's east? We're going to face east. And the Barhu is on page 50.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך. Congregation, ברכו את אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
Baruch atah Adonai, please join me in Ma'ariv on the bottom of page 50. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro Ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna mashane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et hakochavim, b'mishmarotehem, Barakia Kirtsono, Borei Yom Valayla, Golel Or, Mipnei Choshech Vechoshech Mipnei Or, Uma'avir Yom Umevi Laila, Umavdil Ben Yom Uvein Laila, Adonai Tzevaot Shemo, El Chai V'Kayam Tamid, Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. Please be seated. The Ahavat Olam is on page 52. I'm going to read actually a song. I use it for Ahavat Rabbah. I also use it for Ahavat Olam. We are loved by an unending love. We are embraced by arms that find us even when we are hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us even when we are too proud for soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us, even when we are too embittered to hear. We are supported by hands that uplift us, even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us, even when we are too weak for meeting. Embraced, touched, soothed, and counseled. Ours are the arms, the fingers, the voices. Ours are the hands, the eyes, the smiles. And we're loved by an unending love. Let us declare and affirm God's oneness and our connection to that oneness. The Shema begins on page 54.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha ve'hayu הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. Please read 56 on your own. On the middle of page 58. L'ma'an tizkaru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kadoshim le'elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lehiot lachem l'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Michamocha is on the bottom of page 60. When our ancestors safely crossed the Sea of Reeds after fleeing from slavery, we sang a song to celebrate our successful plunging into the unknown. Yet they faced the uncertainty that was only sustained by faith. This uncertainty is as relevant today as it was for our ancestors. Each one of us has stood at our own sea, together or individually, realizing that the only way forward was to plunge into the depths. Who were you before this plunge? And who are you now that you have crossed? Is there still a part of you that feels as if you are drowning, swimming, or just trying to reach what feels secure? Who are you, Hashem, that we may trust in the crossing? How wondrous are your miracles, ready to be exposed and acknowledged.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורתך לא אוסף אלה, נורתך לא אוסף אלה.
As we lie down in peace, may we also rise in peace. Hashkivenu is on the bottom of page 63. Is it?
Page 62, Hashkivenu.
Oh, 2. You want to start?
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שומרך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שומרך. ברוך אתה אדוני הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים ועל ירושלים ועל ירושלים. אמן.
Thank you. Please rise. Veshamru is on page 64.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
You may be seated. Some communities stand during the Chatzi Kaddish, Kaddish Shalem. Some don't, so I guess we're not tonight. But if it's your custom to do so, feel free. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabah, be'alma divrach hirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, bagala, bagala, uvizman kariv, v'meru, Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorach, Le'olam u'olmei almaya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitalav v'yitalel, Shemei Dekudesha, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, Damiram be'alma v'meru. So for this evening's Amidah, I invite you to take your own space and recite it as you are accustomed. Or simply, sometimes I rely on this, take a word or a phrase or an idea that comes from a word or a phrase, and ponder, reflect, meditate upon what you find. It's very interesting to experience something new when reciting prayers that we've been reciting our whole lives. So please rise. The Amidah begins on page 68 and ends on 77. We will go silently or your own meditation for yourself.
עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן.
Please turn to page 86. Yikadal v'kadash shemei rabah, be'alma divrach hirute, v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, bagala, bagala, uv'izman kariv. Amen. Hey Shmei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam U'Ome'el Maya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'Yishtabach V'Yitpa'ar V'Yitromam V'Yitnaseh V'Yitadar V'Yitaleh V'Yitalal Shmei Dekudasha Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'Shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata damiram be'alma v'imeru. Titgabalt zuloton uvoton dechol Yisrael kadam ovohon divishmaya v'imru. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Oseh shalom b'murmav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. I took a moment and then turned off the mic as soon as I was going to say something. So as I said earlier, on Kabbalat Shabbat, it is said we are given an extra soul. I see this as a message that during Shabbat we are especially receptive to spiritual lessons and happenings around us. No matter one's mood, both inner and outer joy is more accessible and meaningful during these 25 hours. I'm going to give a tiny taste of the Parsha to lure you all back tomorrow. The Parsha for this week is Metzorah, and in the beginning of the Parsha, it addresses a process of retreat, purity, and reintegration. This is talked about through the giving of the offerings, burnt offerings, and certain rituals that were done when someone had an affliction. Now, in the Torah, we're talking about physical afflictions. But are we? So this retreat, journey to purity, and then reintegration into society is what we really look at. And the psycho-spiritual reasons for this process we will look at tomorrow. For now, I want to plant a seed for us all to consider. I want us all to consider our relationships, or lack thereof, with, one, taking time away from others and society, 2, with any sense or moments of purity. What is purity? And with any level of sacrifice and resolution after ritualistic or actual events. A lot of what we do during prayer services is reenacting thousands of years of history, not just with the liturgy, but the action of offering and sacrificing. It comes through the liturgy even though we're not in the temple with a big T. I suggest that nowadays the evolution from one to the next can actually happen organically and in any order, and in the period of time that is needed for the individual. As in the Parsha, there's no exact time frame given, so that part is up to us. Integrating even one piece of this process into our psyches is quite valuable if we are to continually move toward becoming the best, most whole people we can be. And we can start right here. As always, the Torah offers crucial messages about personal and communal growth. So my wish is that we all be sensitive to our traditions, to our liturgy, to how we come together for services, and how these traditions add to the betterment of the world. As most of you may or may not, which is fine, know, in Pirkei Avot 2:21, it states that we are not obligated to complete the work, but neither are we free to desist from it. So, I look forward to exploring the Parsha in depth tomorrow with that Pirkei Avot in mind. It is upon us. It is upon us. Aleinu, please rise. And turn to page 118.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, עדי גדולה ליוסף בראשית, שלא עזרנו יורי הרצון, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם מלכנו ככם, וגורלנו ככל חמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים מודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שכונות השמיים ויוסף הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים עמה, ושכינתו וגואל מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, ידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים עמה, ועל הארץ מתחת עינינו על כן. כתוב בתורתך, אדוני אם לא לעולם ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
Please be seated. Oh, okay, great. And Tonight, as we sing the Mishaberach, I'm going to read a list. Got it. So please open to the back of the book where the Mishaberach is.
Mishaberach Avoteinu Mekor Abraham Limoteinu. May the source of strength, who blessed one before us, help us find the courage to make our life a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
Does anyone have any names they'd like to share while we say this prayer? Yes. And we have Shelley Ackman, Barbara Allman, Steve Ashame, Mona Bakov, Sawyer Bartel, Teresa Calla, Amelia Cooley, Audrey Dash, Bruce Dash, Gordon Feinberg, Carla Gonzalez, Jeffrey Greenwald, Alan Jacobs, Rita Kendall, Steve Lifshin, Sandy Minkin, Morris Rashi, Dom Salfi, Rob Seltzer, Harleen Shrake, Leslie Schulsinger, Izzy Sigmund, Saul Stein, Bill Thompson, Peter Teitelbaum, Nancy Town, Herb Weissen, Suzette Weissman, Katerina Williams, Label Ben Margolit, Leba Shlomit Rachel Bat Margolit, Favel Shlomo Ben Devora, Yisrael Ben Ethel, and Avraham Ben Binyamin. And we continue.
Mishaberach Imoteinu Mekor Abraham Lavoteinu. Miss those need of healing with refuah shema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
For those who are observing a yahrzeit, who are in Shloshim, the first 30 days following a loved one's death, please rise. We have 2 yahrzeits here, in addition to whoever's standing. Max Evans for Lillian Morris. And that's Max Evans' grandfather, Herbert Weissman. And Lillian Morris is his mother. This is confusing, I'm sorry. Okay. Wayne Morris. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabah.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru.
Amen. Yehi shmei rabah mivrach ve'olam amei almai.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekucha. Le'elah min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechamata. Da'amiram be'alma v'imru. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Osei shalom. Hu ya'asei shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Zichronam levracha. Remembering them is a blessing. So we have 3 celebratory mini events here. First, we have a lot of April birthdays. And I will read the names, but not each date. 4-1. Lucy Belnick, Daniela Gonzalez, Sheila Rashi, Suzette Weissman, Wayne Morris, Justin Minyard, Ellen Frischman, Nancy Mendel, Naomi Grabish, Laura Laboda, Stuart Bourne, Steve Gordon, and Andrew Grabish. So first, are any of you here? Do we have, all right. Excellent, excellent. April birthdays. Should we all sing Yom Huledet Sameach? All right. Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach. So for birthdays, I didn't think about what I would say here because I didn't know the people whose birthday it was this month. For this month, of course, Pesach is coming up next week. And that was truly a new beginning, of course. So I want to wish you all who have birthdays in this month of new beginnings. In the Jewish tradition, we have 4 New Years. We have, there's no real end to anything, so they keep happening, and lots of opportunities in our tradition for newness. So I want to wish you all that have birthdays that you feel that fresh newness and use it as an excuse to have fun, move forward, and always feel shalom. Ad me'ah ve'esrim. Now we have 2 anniversaries. Stuart and Michelle Bourne, Barry Cook and Mona Bakov. So I'm going to read a very special little poem about connection in anniversaries between people in whatever celebratory, meaningful way we have these relationships. And he's not Jewish, but certainly hung out back thousands of years ago with everyone. Even after all this time, the sun never says to the earth, "You owe me." Look what happens with a love like that. It lights up the whole sky. Master Hafiz there. Now, finally, we have Alice, who's here for the first time for a Kabbalat Shabbat, right? And I thought we could all say the Shehechianu for her. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'higianu lazman hazeh. That's for your fresh newness, for coming here, and I'm really glad to see you here. And hope you continue to come back.
Before we close the service, I don't know if our president, Tom Mayer, want to say some words.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Rabbi Zoe. We're so happy that you're here with us, and thank you for leading us in services, and your departure. And Osvaldo, thank you very much for helping out with the service and playing your beautiful guitar. As Rabbi Zoe said, we're celebrating birthdays and anniversaries tonight, so again, congratulations to all of them. And we'll have the Oneg after services, and it's been quite a undertaking by all the members to put this together for this whole weekend, between the Oneg tonight and services, and the service tomorrow, and the Havdalah service tomorrow night, and the picnic. It's been a real Beth Am family putting everybody together and getting it all done. Between the food committee and logistics and members opening up their homes, it's been just wonderful. As always, we're Beth Am strong. And please join us again tomorrow morning. Services start at 9:30, again led by Rabbi Zoe. And tomorrow night there'll be a Havdalah service, and then Sunday we'll be having a picnic, so we can get to know Rabbi even better. And then next weekend, the next 2 weekends are Passover weekends. Rabbi Barnett will be back in town leading us in services, including a Yizkor service on the 23rd, Saturday morning. And then please keep on your calendar the date of May 15th. It's a Sunday. It's the date of our Lag Bomar picnic. It'll be held at Carver Springs State Park. Please bring your family and friends. It'll be a great day for everybody. Shabbat Shalom.
Adon Olam is on page 128.
Adon Olam Asher Mala V'teren kol Yesi Nivra Leit Nasa V'chesoko Asai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kitlot HaKol Levado Limnok Nora Ve'u Haya Ve'u Ove Ve'u Yeh Betifara Ve'u Echad Ve'en Sheni Le'amshilo Le'avira Ve'ligreshit Ve'litachlit Ve'lo Aoz Be'amizra Ve'hu Eli Ve'chalguali Ve'tzur Chevli Ve'tzara Ve'unisi Umanosli Ve'nakosi Ve'yom Ekra Ve'yado Afkir Ruchi Ve'et Ishan Ve'aira Ve'im Ruchi Geviati Adonai Li Ve'lo Ira.
Shabbat Shalom.